Hello, my name is Riley Groves, and I'm here to talk to you today about the unit plan I designed called What is Happening to Our Wildlife for my first graders. This unit is a 6-week long project that incorporates technology since we are living in the 21st century. It allows students to understand the concepts endangered and extinct and what we can do to help our wildlife. The model I chose to help me design this unit with was the ASSURE model. ASSURE stands for Analyze Learners, State Standards and Objectives, Select Strategies, Technology, Media, and Materials, Utilize Technology, Media, and Materials, Require Learner Participation, and Evaluate and Revise. The first thing I did to design this unit was to analyze my learners. I know that this is a very important step, and a lot of teachers tend to forget this. I know that I must consider who I'm working with first and foremost to design the rest of my project. I have 18 first graders, 9 girls and 9 boys, and I looked at the red folders that were given to me at the beginning of the year with work samples and assessment scores from kindergarten. I think having a good idea of the learners you have will help you in the long run. I then made sure that the project I had in mind would fit all of their needs. Next step I did was I stated the standards and objectives. Since we are changing to the Common Core State Standards, I know that it's very important that I choose those. I then made the objectives in kid-friendly language so that my students would understand what we were working towards. This is also important so that they can set goals and work towards them. The next step was to select strategies, technology, media, and materials. I wanted to select technology that was age appropriate for first graders. I know that they can use the computer and have had some keyboarding experience from kindergarten. I decided to use computers and an audio recorder. The students would also use Skype with help from me. They would also create a Prezi because I feel as if those are the new PowerPoints. I would test each one of these technologies out before allowing my students to make sure that it would be a foolproof plan. The next step was to utilize technology, media, and materials, which my students would be doing throughout this unit. I would also require learner participation by holding them accountable for through our group conversations and our handouts. We would be doing a lot of think, pair, shares, and peer feedback as well. Last in the model is to evaluate and revise, which I would do throughout this process and once it was finished. It is important to reflect as a teacher because otherwise you're not continuously challenging yourself. Teachers are also lifelong learners, and that's something a lot of us tend to forget. I think that I can always learn and grow by reflecting and thinking of ways that I could make this unit better. The activities I chose for this unit itself were to take the first 2 weeks to research. And this is an important phase for the students because this is what they would base the rest of their project off of. They would not only use books, but the internet as well. The students would then write a paper about their endangered or extinct animal. I would assess them through observation and handouts such as graphic organizers and think, pair, share activities. Then they would start putting their information into a Prezi in weeks 3 and 4. With help from the teacher, they would try and contact a zookeeper via Skype and ask them questions about their animal that they wouldn't necessarily find in a book or on the internet. The conversation would be recorded by an audio recorder, and then the clip would be imported with help from the teacher into their Prezi. Weeks 5 and 6 would be putting the final project together and finally presenting their findings to the class via the smartboard. Overall, I selected the various learning activities by thinking to myself, how could I keep my students interested while also meeting the Common Core State Standards? I also had to take into consideration the resources that are available to me. I wanted to integrate technology because, in my opinion, the earlier you learn it, the better off you will be. If I can instill a love of learning and technology into my students at a young age, I feel as if I have successfully done my job. Thank you.